So this is a quick tour of the collection book by Modellplan. I wanted to give a quick little tour to all of you because I know that not many people may be aware of this book, or if you have, you may not have had the opportunity to actually take a look at it. That's what we're going to do here today. Over here you can see it opens up in the index, and obviously you can see that everything's actually in German, but that's not really an obstacle for those of you who don't speak German, because a lot of it is pretty self-explanatory, and you can actually see just from looking at the index page, it is very comprehensive. Everything from locomotives to passenger wagons to starter sets, and even the special cars as well. Now the first few pages go into great details to actually show you a lot of the inner workings of the wheel configurations, the different types of catenaries that have been used over the years, the different types of coupler mechanisms as well. So again, it's great for a form of reference, great for a form of history as well. And I think at this point I should mention that this particular book is dated only till 2015. I believe there is a newer one, but the one you're looking at that I have is obviously a cheaper version. And you can actually see from this page, not only does the book describe every single item from Marklin for Z-scale, but where there are variations or versions of even that same item number, that is actually detailed out. Perhaps it would help if you know German, but it's nice that even if you didn't, you can actually try and make that out, and the individual photographs are actually shown of the different versions as well. So here are just different pages, and you're scrolling through. The book starts with the steam locomotives. We're on to diesels right now. And you can actually see, you can make out quite a fair amount of information here in terms of the item number, the kind of locomotive it was, and even the kind of epoch it came out from as well. So even though the book is very detailed when it comes to the actual unit numbers that Marklin uses, it actually catalogs it in a really nice logical way. So it doesn't strictly follow the unique number chronologically, but it actually categorizes them in terms of nice sections. So as you can see here, we've started off with locomotives. We're currently in the section where you have the electric locomotives as well. And by this junction, you sort of get a picture. So I'm just scrolling through right now the various other different pages that you're starting to get into. After the locomotives, you start to get into the freight cars. And after the freight cars would come the passenger cars as well. And these are listed both in terms of, where there were individual releases for the individual cars, as well as the sets that you just saw earlier as well. And over here, you're starting to see some mixed sets. These are actually the sets that came in starter sets as well. So again, it is very comprehensive, and you can actually see the various starter sets that were released over the years by Marklin, including, as you can make out from here, the track items that were released in that starter set as well. This is the very famous Swiss starter set, and this was my very first starter set, that German freight start kit. Again, a book I highly recommend anyone to have, especially if you're a Marklin collector. I mean, obviously, most, if not more, information is available online, I know, but sometimes it's just nice to have a book for you to reference by. If you're offline, or if you just don't feel like going to the computer to be, taken in and sucked in by the display, for hours and hours. This book is a nice little treasure trove for you to actually refer to whenever you have an item number to look up. Speaking of item number, right at the end, this is the index. As you can see, once you're done with the special cars, you can actually look these numbers up chronologically, and then they will show you the page numbers that you can quickly turn to. So I actually still use this when I'm looking at, say, sale item numbers from the shop that we have here locally. I will look at that to actually look up the cars and to see whether I have them, or I'd like to get a new one. And this is just a quick browse through the Modellplan website, and you can see that this is where you go to look at the books. They have several. They have those which are downloadable as actually an ebook, and then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will actually see this one for €39.90. It was actually cheaper when I got it a couple of years ago, I think. This is the collection for Spur, and this is obviously the hard copy of the book, the one that you just saw. Just a small tip for this website: they do seem to offer two languages, both German and English. However, when you switch the language to English, you notice that you actually lose all the details in the descriptions. So my advice is to actually leave it in German, and then maybe use something like Google Translate to figure out what they're trying to tell you. But there's just a lot more detail you will get when you switch it, you leave it on the German language as well. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this tour.